Hi guys, let's get more news about Warriors. But first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriorstrade fanbase woke up to absolute shockwaves this morning as one of the most anticipated and emotional storylines of the past year suddenly took a dramatic turn. After months of rumors, speculation, tension, and uncertainty about his future, Klay Thompson has officially stepped back inside the Warriors facility. And insiders say he's not just there to visit, not just there to say hello, but to finalize the details of a brand new agreement that could keep him in Golden State longer than anyone expected. The moment he walked through those glass doors, wearing casual athletic gear and carrying that signature calm confidence, the entire building felt a shift. Staff members were stunned. Fans outside erupted, and within minutes social media was on fire with photos, videos, and reactions saying the same thing. Klay Thompson is back and something big is happening. For months, Warriors fans feared that this chapter was closing, that the Splash Brothers era might finally come to an end. With contract talks stalling, with outside teams reportedly preparing big offers, and with analysts claiming that the dynasty window had closed, the doubt grew bigger by the day. But this morning, all of that flipped. Klay wasn't just walking back into a gym. He was walking back into his basketball home, the place where he built championships, memories, heartbreaking comebacks, and some of the greatest performances in NBA history. People inside the facility said the energy instantly changed. Coaches smiled. Teammates nodded. Steve Curry, who's been quietly hoping for this reunion, was one of the first to greet him. And while cameras weren't allowed inside the negotiation room, sources close to the team say the meeting wasn't about whether Klay would return. It was about sealing the deal. The magnitude of this moment can't be overstated. Klay Thompson is more than just a star player. He is one of the pillars of the Golden State dynasty. He's the heart of the Splash Brothers, the man behind legendary Game 6 performances. The sharpshooter whose silky smooth jumper has terrified defenders for a decade. And yet, the last few years have been anything but easy. Between his devastating injuries, the long road to recovery, and the natural pressure to return to championship form, Klay has gone through struggles few players could survive. But he fought back. And now, standing in the Warriors facility, looking healthy, confident, and determined, he appears ready to write the next chapter of his career exactly where it began. Insiders described today's meeting as the most productive one the two sides have had in months. Their Warriors front office led by Mike Dunleavy Jr. reportedly presented a respect-driven legacy-focused offer, one that balances financial value with long-term commitment. The terms haven't been revealed yet, but it's clear that both sides came into the room with the same goal: to finish what they started. Their Warriors know that Klay's shooting, experience, and leadership remain critical to their core. And Klay knows that no franchise understands him, values him, or fits him better than Golden State. This isn't just a business deal. It's a reunion, a restoration, a moment of healing between a star and a franchise that built history together. Outside the building, fans gathered as word spread. Some held up posters. Some wore old Klay jerseys. Others simply wanted to catch a glimpse of him walking into the facility. A moment that felt symbolic and emotional. For many fans, Klay isn't just a player. He represents loyalty, resilience, and joy. His personality, his humor, his boat adventures, and his laid-back presence have made him one of the most beloved figures in Warriors history. So seeing him return to the place where he belongs brought excitement, relief, and maybe even a few tears. It reminded fans why this team has such a deep connection to the Bay Area. Meanwhile, inside the practice gym, Klay reportedly got some shots up after the meeting, and staff members said he looked sharp, focused, and physically ready. His jumper, as always, was pure. No wasted motion, No hesitation, no rust. Just that beautiful, effortless release that has become iconic across the league. For the Warriors, coaches watching from the sidelines, it was a powerful reminder of who Klay Thompson still is. Not the player some critics doubted, but a champion, a scorer, and one of the greatest shooters the game has ever seen. His presence on the floor instantly changes the team's identity, spacing, and rhythm. And if this new agreement becomes official, their Warriors suddenly have a much clearer path toward competing again. Steve Curry, who has publicly stated many times how much Klay means to him, both on and off the court, reportedly shared a long moment with him during practice. These two have been through everything together. Championships, injuries, defeats, miracles, and unforgettable moments. Their connection is deeper than basketball. Built over more than a decade of shared triumph and struggle. And as they stood together today, smiling, talking, and shooting around like old times, the building felt something it hasn't felt in a while. Hope. The kind of hope that reminds everyone why this team became one of the greatest dynasties in sports history. Of course, fans want the official announcement, the signature on paper, the press conference, and the confirmation that the Splash Brothers are together again. But the feeling inside the facility today made one thing very clear. Klay Thompson's return is no longer a question. It's just a matter of time. Their Warriors organization understands the importance of getting this right. They want the deal to honor Klay's legacy, reflect his value, and set the tone for the next era of Warriors basketball. And Klay, after exploring other possibilities and hearing whispers from around the league, seems ready to finish his career where his heart always belonged. As the day went on, sources close to the situation shared that negotiations were moving faster than expected. The final details were being ironed out, but the tone of the meeting suggested there were no obstacles left, no disagreements big enough to derail the reunion. Instead, the conversation focused on the future, on Klay's role, on the team's direction, on building around this core for one more run. And with younger players developing, with new defensive pieces added, and with Curry still playing at an elite level, their Warriors believe they can reshape this roster into a competitive force once again. The sight of Klay walking out of the facility later in the day, relaxed, smiling, confident, only fueled the excitement even more. Fans cheered as he stepped outside, some shouting his name, others filming on their phones, capturing a moment they've been waiting for all year. And while Klay didn't make an official statement yet, the way he carried himself said enough. This wasn't a goodbye. This wasn't a farewell tour. This was a man returning home to finish a story that is far from over. Tonight, the Bay Area is buzzing. Warriors social media is exploding. Analysts across the league are reacting and fans everywhere are celebrating the moment they feared might never happen. Klay Thompson walking into the Warriors facility to lock in a new agreement isn't just a piece of news. It's a reminder of what loyalty, connection, and legacy truly mean in sports. It's a symbol of hope for a fan base that has lived through the highs and lows of the past decade. And it's a signal that the Warriors aren't done. Not by a long shot. As the final details get finalized and the official announcement approaches, one thing is undeniable. The Golden State Warriors just took a massive step toward reclaiming their identity, their culture, and their future. And with Klay Thompson back in the building, smiling, shooting, and preparing for what comes next, the rest of the league better pay attention. Because when the Splash Brothers are together, anything can happen. And history has already shown what this duo can accomplish when they're locked in, motivated, and ready to prove the world wrong once again.